Hey guys, Space Guru 5 here. The more things change, the more they stay the same, am I right? Over the years, a number of controversies have surfaced regarding the CC's style of commentary. To my knowledge, complaints about style were heard as far back as 2011, and time again similar complaints have surfaced. Black borders was the defining issue for 2016, as were Imagegate in 2017 and Avatargate in 2018. In fact, as I'm recording this, Avatargate was happening exactly 1 year ago. Yeah, now you see why I said that first sentence there. Today we'll be looking at yet another one of these CC criticism videos. Now, don't get me wrong, it's perfectly fine to criticize the CC. We'd look like a bunch of hypocrites if we couldn't take criticism ourselves. However, if that criticism is done poorly, then something really needs to be said to rectify it. The video I'm tackling today is by a user named CynoYT, who recently posted a 7-minute diatribe about this grand old community. How does it hold up? Well, let's tune in and start slicing away.
Out of every style of video on YouTube, one of the most prolific has been the commentary style. Commentary videos can be like this, or even this. In my eyes, commentary has the most flexibility out of any format on YouTube as a whole. For today's edition of Cyno Talks About a Thing for like 9 minutes trademark, we're going to look at a very specific variation of the format, or a branch of the commentary style, that not many people pay attention to. Before I do, however, I should be a bit transparent with you. This channel isn't my first. I had a channel at first where I did the exact same thing that I'm talking about today. I'm only mentioning this to you because when I say things from experience, these are really from experience. Don't bother looking for the channel as it's still up with everything privated, and don't bother looking for some re-uploads because they don't exist.
While it's good that you apparently do have prior experience in the CC, I have no guarantee that you'll just take anecdotes and use them to project your anger towards the community. Check out the awful rant I made about the CC in September if you don't believe this can happen. It is a bit too early to judge, so I won't say you're projecting just yet, but I'll keep this in mind in case you do. Now then, let's get on with it.
Now I can tell the suspense is fucking killing you. So I'm talking about the slideshow type of commentaries. Now when you hear the name slideshow commentary, what do you think of?
I think of every single person who's ever criticized the CC who uses that term as a pejorative, even though some of them made cutaways and used still images as their avatars, just like the community they criticized for doing the same thing. But that's just me.
If you thought of looking at still images over a maybe animated, maybe not background sometimes while someone essentially pauses a video and talks, congratulations, you've just guessed how 99% of these videos play out.
Go fuck yourself.
Said images are usually from TV shows, movies, and anime. Disgusting.
Oh goody, another person who thinks pointing out the prevalence of anime avatars in the so-called slideshow CC is a legitimate reason why the community is awful. I hope this is McDonald's because I'm fucking loving it.
Now if that already hasn't made your penis go completely flaccid, the fact that all of these videos are structured the exact same way certainly will. Now I have no problem with people using the same structure for their videos. I've done it in the past with a few videos, but to have an entire community do it is just the worst.
So, wait a second. You implied that people having similarly structured commentaries is bad. Then you state that you yourself don't think it's bad. Then you state that it is bad. Ignoring the fact that this is contradictory as all hell and reeks of doublethink, I can say the same sort of thing about how you make rant videos in much the same vein as Leafy, in the sense that you just parse your thoughts over video game footage that has absolutely nothing to do with the topic at hand. At the end of the day, this is all simply a matter of style over substance. If you're gonna make a video addressing problems of the community, talk about stuff that actually matters, not the nitpicky and subjective schlock.
Here's the average slideshow commentary, piece by piece. Minute or two long skit.
Hey MTR, you had fun on your birthday?
Yeah, I did. Why did you ask?
Well, I was planning on ruining it when I realized that this video existed.
20-second or above intro. Thankfully, some have realized that intros should be short recently, so take this one with a grain of salt. Them talking about what caused them to make the video or the user behind the video, clip of the video, them talking, repeat this 10 to 1,000 fucking times, final thoughts, end.
Alright, there's several things wrong here. First of all, the complaint about the number of interjections needs expansion. I would agree with that if only you weren't so vague. What are you referring to? People who interject after every sentence? People who have sparse periods of time between interjections? Longer commentaries in which a greater number of interjections is a necessity? I find it hard to see this complaint as constructive and meaningful since you fail to clarify what you meant by this. Second of all, you're complaining about intros that are over 20 seconds long? You've got to be the most impatient person on the fucking planet if you can't see the intros that short. Also, intros should be short? I thought we got the point across 6 or so years ago that imposing subjective standards on the CC is unviable. Just refer to the specific incidents I mentioned in my introductory thoughts if you want more information about it. There's a lot of truth to that famous condemnation to repeat history quote from Sanagani, you know. It's not so much about the length of the intro thoughts, it's more about how quickly they get to the point, the main thesis if you will. From my experience in English classes, the intro paragraph should state the main thesis of a work in a concise manner, but there are no set definitions for how short those paragraphs should be. It's just a matter of how long that paragraph really needs to be. Do you see the difference here? The same thing applies to commentaries, except in an audiovisual format as opposed to a textual format. Therefore, your complaint is simply nonsensical. Third of all, people only include intro skits because they want to entertain people before the video gets into the real meat and potatoes. Think of it as the appetizer before the main course. Plus, some commentators also have ongoing stories and or lore surrounding their commentaries. Commentaries are primarily made to entertain others, and so it makes sense that commentators would insert intro skits in order to get some entertainment value out of it. Whether or not you enjoy it is simply a matter of taste and thus is very subjective in and of itself. So, countering objectivity with subjectivity. That's good.
Alongside the similar format, another similarity is the presentation. Still images over a background. This is almost every slideshow commentary. My problem isn't the overuse of the style, even though that is kind of a fucking issue. My problem is that the style as a whole is almost never interesting to look at. I find it hilarious how when commentators decide to branch out, they get literally nowhere because their editing knowledge consists of dropping a JPEG from Google Images into a single track in Vegas. Say what you want about the gameplay commentary style, but I make an attempt to make the videos visually appealing.
Even though literally all you're doing is dropping still images onto a single track of gameplay footage using whatever software you use. This brings you to the absolute condescension I've just witnessed from you. I try to make my videos visually appealing, unlike slideshow commentators. No good commentator I know of would ever intentionally be lazy with their content. If anything, we call out videos for not being visually appealing all the bloody time. In fact, this is stuff we pointed out since the very earliest days of the CC as a whole. This condescending attitude of yours is completely unwarranted, especially since you misunderstand what most commentators are all about, and you are just as guilty of being quote-unquote lazy when it comes to video production. Kiss my ass.
The most monumental problem with these videos and the style of slideshow commentaries as a whole is the length of these videos. Depending on the user, videos can range from 5 minutes to 15 minutes, which is, in my eyes, already fucking pushing it, to 30 minutes to an hour and 30 minutes. I don't know if you've noticed this, but when I talk about a YouTuber or a video, one of the primary talking points is length of videos. I personally try to make sure that my videos are below 10 minutes to make sure that they're actually fun to watch, easy to follow, and streamlined. This is what slideshow commentators don't do.
I'll just paraphrase what my good friend Hobb said about length all the way back in 2011 and 2012. I told you this is something we've been over for several years. Yeah, if a video is on the longer side and isn't all that entertaining, then that complaint is warranted. However, if a video is on the longer side and is generally entertaining, then that stigma is lifted unless you're really that impatient to sit through it. Here's some good examples. Furry Science by V Omega. Just under 80 minutes long and yet generally entertaining. More Nonsense About Buildings and Food by me, Hobbs, and Avalonian Sky. Just under an hour long, yet very entertaining. Rand's Slappy Commentary, The Search for Techna by Ricky Ray102 and Slappy Gamer. Just under an hour long, yet very entertaining. As I've stated before, commentaries are meant for entertainment. Length is only an issue if it's not entertaining, and even then, it's all subjective anyway. I'd really appreciate it if you stopped talking in obvious generalities, because it's really biting you in the ass. As a reminder, folks, this is the same guy who said 20-second intro segments are too long. This guy must have the attention span of a fucking toothpick.
Funnily enough, I've actually meshed this style of video together with my current style before, with the response to Fox Goodman video, but here's the thing. I made sure to only include points that I thought really needed to be in the video, and I was talking about the user himself as well. This is what slideshow commentators don't do.
And here you go again with your, it's okay when I do it because I put effort into it, unlike those losers in the slideshow CC. Bullshit. Seriously, you have no room to talk about any of this, considering that people in the CC do the same things you do. Now yes, there are some who don't do these things, but they are by far the exception and not the rule when it comes to this. And you should really know this since you apparently have prior experience in the CC. So far, this video has less been about criticizing the CC and more about jerking yourself off with how much better you are than the CC, even though there are members who are just as good as or even better than you. Get over yourself.
They are on fucking CinemaSins levels of absolutely nitpicking a video. No wonder the videos are fucking 15 minutes to an hour long, because they don't cut the unnecessary shit.
Even though skip cards exist in plenty of commentaries, including this one, but okay.
And the reason they don't? Because their videos can be relegated to comments.
Do you realize how stupid you sound? By definition, every commentary ever is a series of comments. We just present it in a visual style because it's more engaging than sitting through long posts containing whole swaths of paragraphs. Don't believe me? Let's use this as an example. Tell me if you'd rather sit through these comments or just see them in a video. I'll wait for you. I hope Stagmaster15 doesn't beat me up for using this.
These videos are primarily done on one video. Not a whole channel, not a group of people slash YouTubers, but another video, and that's it. Which basically makes my just a comment remark even closer to being true.
By your own logic, any video that is done on a whole channel or group of people can just be relegated to the comments of that particular channel or group of people. Your bias is showing, dude. Cover it or I'll have you arrested for indecent exposure. By the way, how is it bad for someone to cover just one video from a person? How has this ever been an issue? Oh right, explanations are above you because you clearly know what's best for everyone. My bad. Dickhead.
A common counter-argument against one-shots or just commentaries as a whole being unnecessary is entertainment value. We're still making enjoyable and entertaining content, so it's completely fine. This is entertaining?
Yes, it is. Just because you don't find it entertaining doesn't mean others can't or won't find it entertaining. Sawed off with that douchey laughter of yours or I swear to God I'll kick you into the sun. Also, you made this content yourself by your own admission, so don't even start with this.
Paradoxically though, most commentaries are done on other commentaries on things, which basically just makes the overall blind user's experience absolutely fucking terrible. This led to the implementation of the degree marker. 0 would be the farthest video in the chain, while the highest number would be the video that you're watching. In between there might be another commentary on the video, or a commentary on a commentary of the original video. Do you see how much of a mindfuck this is?
Multi-degree commentaries do have the risk of being muddled and confusing, but only if there's lack of clarity to what's going on. Even so, plenty of commentators mark which degree is which by displaying a little number in the corner of the video to assist in the viewing experience, so it's not like every multi-degree commentary is intentionally leaving people in the dark. As in the case of complaints about length, complaints about such commentaries are purely subjective. Also, this point flies right in the face of your comment about these videos just being on one video, since they technically cover multiple videos at the same time. I shouldn't be the one explaining this shit to you, but you decided to omit those explanations, so here you go. If anything, the only one here getting confused about this is you. And really anyone else who's not that observant.
In the previous segment, I mentioned commentary groups momentarily. Yeah, that's a thing now. People get into groups and create commentaries together with other members of the group, ignoring the fact that commentaries as a whole are a completely counterintuitive concept.
A concept that you yourself are contributing to since you're just talking about commentaries in general and even delineated distinct types of commentary style at the beginning.
There's too many fucking groups! There's too many groups! Ignoring the flawed concept of a commentary group as a whole. They're pointless. Wanna know why? Because people do co-op commentaries, which basically negate the point of a group in the first place!
You seriously think commentary groups exist only for the co-op potential? While the group does facilitate those opportunities, it also exists for others in the group to offer their own suggestions, provide support, and harbor a sense of camaraderie within the CC. That may not always happen, but that's the idea. You know, for someone who apparently has experience in the CC, you don't know jack shit about it.
One last thing before I close this video off. There are some groups who will just let fucking anyone in. Doesn't that just go against the point of a group by letting in anyone? A group is supposed to be like a VIP type of thing, like the Third Reich. But there's shit like the Cloud Palace with fucking 50 members. Hey, maybe I'm wrong and all 50 members are gonna be used in fucking Cloud Palace Infinity War. I swear to God, this is the reason why X died.
Bitch, please. The Cloud Palace only has a considerable number of members because plenty of people wanted to join the group. So, how is this an issue? You just come off as someone who is jealous that they couldn't get into a group or is jealous of a group's success. Also, you can go fuck yourself with your forced Nazi joke. Shame on you for comparing anything like this to a regime of fascism, anti-Semitism, mass repression, and genocide. But it's okay, it's just a joke. No. Just because it's a joke doesn't mean it's fucking funny.
Hey, I'm totally not recording this part later. Another trend I'd like to comment on is adding disowned to your videos, which basically says, I do not stand by this video anymore, so please do not attack it. That's stupid.
How is it stupid? Some people would just rather make it clear that they don't stand by a video anymore. If anything, that shows that they can own up to their mistakes. Again, real nice for you to just leave shit hanging like that. You really didn't even try with this one, huh? And that's the way this Roadrunner runs. Christ almighty, talk about unwarranted self-importance. Not only does this guy try to impose subjective bullshit onto the CC, but he also tries to make himself look like the good guy by claiming to put effort in his videos, never mind the fact that many in the CC put in just as much effort. On top of that, he has this condescending attitude that makes this seem more like he's saying, "Look at me, I'm better than you," and providing actual criticism. This is exactly the type of CC rant that makes valid CC rants look bad, especially when you consider that this guy apparently used to be part of the CC before leaving some time ago. Here's a newsflash to everyone. It's okay to criticize the CC. It has its own fair share of problems that do need to be addressed, like anything else. But for the love of God, don't pull this condescending, subjective horse shit if you plan to do so, because it'll just make you look like a massive douchebag and you'll be very easily debunked. Proceed with caution. That's about it for today, folks. I'm SpaceGuruder5, and, as always, take care. How many fucking more of these are we gonna go through before people actually get it?
Here I lie on my deathbed, recalling things said as my world slips away.